Hello and welcome to SMPD, the podcast where we look back at the cartoons that shaped our childhood. I am Chris Bolton. With me, as always, my cartoon compadre, Mr. Mark Williams.
Hi.
That was very brief. That was not even a hello. What? Like, hi.
Yeah.
We're all friends now. We're all friends now. Hi.
Yeah. Casual. Nice and easy.
So I don't know, maybe you didn't recognize the theme tune this episode. Normally I go like, oh, as you can probably tell from the theme tune, we're doing blah. This is a fucking bad theme tune though, isn't it?
Yes.
Nobody's remember. I certainly didn't remember it, and then the first time I heard it, I was like, "Is this a joke?
Yeah.
What is it?
I dipped in because I watched. There were a couple of episodes of Care Bears, the original series, the '85 series, and then Care Bear Family. Which was the follow-up with the fucking elephant and
much better theme tune. But we'll get onto that.
But not as good a show, ironically. But yeah. So I mean, I've been listening to the theme tune. I don't remember that. That's not the one. What the fuck I remember? I don't know because it's not anything I've watched.
No, I don't remember it at all, to be honest. But yeah, we'll get into that. So we are talking about Care Bears this episode, listeners. But as I say,
sorry for blowing that one, but you probably got that from the episode title when you downloaded it.
Yeah, I mean, just before we dive in, we did have a bit of feedback on last episode as well. We did Clarissa Explains It All last episode. For those of you that weren't with us, where were you? But we did have some brief feedback from Sarah Clark, London Hammer on Twitter, who said she sort of remembered Clarissa, but preferred Blossom, which apparently was on Channel 4. And yeah, she says, although it was a similar time and about a teenage girl, she said it seemed slightly more grown up and that Joey Lawrence was a bonus for 14-year-old her. Yeah, I mean, I don't remember too much about Blossom other than the fucking hat. I remember Blossom hats being a thing. And yeah, I think Sarah's right there. I think it probably does skew slightly older. She also, incidentally, then went on to recommend that we look at a few other shows as well. The undisputed classic of which being The Wonder Years. Yeah. But maybe that skews slightly too old for this show as well.
Maybe.
So, I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's a fair point, though. I think that, I mean, I remember Blossom. I didn't really watch it. I think I caught a couple of bits where it was on. I might have caught it in reruns as well, because I think much like Channel 4 do with E4 now, they just ragged the shit out of it. It was on all the fucking time. They'd show it, and then between seasons they'd show it again. Just to really hammer home the fact they'd paid a lot of money for the rights, I think. It had some similar themes, but obviously it was handled in a very different way. It wasn't a studio comedy, and it wasn't done the same way Clarissa was done. So I think they're two different shows, and I think that you could see why there would be two different camps. I think, given that they were on at the same time and had a similar subject matter. Yeah,
as I say, I just didn't watch it, but then as talked about last episode, I absolutely adored Clarissa when it was on. So it seems weird to me that I didn't watch Blossom, though. It seems like it should have been something that I would have watched, but I just never did. I distinctly remember the bucket hats being a thing, because they kind of look like upside down flower pots, didn't they? I just distinctly remember those hats being a thing. But nevertheless, thank you for writing in, as always, Sarah. And there have been some other suggestions from Sarah of late as well, which we will look at in the new year, I promise. We've got Christmas all sewn up, or at least we thought we did.
Yeah, we did.
There's been more spanners in the works, but not for this show. Although, who knows? I haven't talked to Mark about this yet, but maybe that'll change as well. Anyway, off topic. We're giving you a peek behind the curtains there. We are talking about Care Bears this episode. And you've already mentioned something that I discovered very early on in rewatching this stuff. Incidentally, Care Bears is everywhere legally if you want to watch it. There are official channels that you can watch it through, so please do find it from a legal source. Look, I mean, the Care Bears saturation even today is everywhere. If you want Care Bears, you're going to find it.
Well, I mean, because there've been so many iterations as well. I mean, they ran through right up until early in the sort of the 2010s. There was a new version. So I mean, it's every fucking where anyway. And because of that, the old stuff is around because they want to keep as much of keep as many people watching as much as they can. So yeah, it is absolutely everywhere.
Yeah, I think you're right. But just even with the old stuff, you've touched on the fact there are many different iterations, even of the 80s Care Bears. I've tried to watch a cross section of them, I find myself gravitating back towards the original. And when I say original, I mean the very first Deke series.
Yeah.
Because even in that original run, the first 2 seasons were handled by completely different production houses.
Yeah.
I've not done that much research, but as always. But these were just so obviously different shows in many, many ways that I was like, hang on a minute, something's off here. So I did a little bit of reading, and yeah, it turns out that first and second seasons were handled by different people. In terms of consistency of animation and things like that, they look very similar. The voice cast changed, but what is most noticeable is just the whole structure of the show and the narratives within it.
Yeah.
That first season, and look, I'm not going to bury the lead here. The reason I kept going back to that first season, I sent Mark a message as soon as I started watching it, which was actually a few weeks ago. I found it absolutely hilarious, unintentionally so. It is just the most earnest and ironic show I have ever seen in my life. It's everything that was really sweet and nice about Get Along Gang, because it was well structured and kind of knew what it was going to be and didn't preach too much. Like, it got a little bit preachy, but they wrapped everything up in a narrative and stuff. This just bins that entirely. This is like infomercial the show. This is just like hey kids, don't do drugs and don't play with electrics and don't talk to strangers and don't. Jesus Christ.
Well, I sent you a message yesterday while I was watching it, and incidentally, I put it on downstairs in the living room, just because sorry, I was doing something else. I had the kids, and they were preoccupied. I thought, fuck, I'm going to put it on down here rather than put it on my iPad. So put it on the TV, and within about 2 minutes, the pair of them were sat next to me, glued to it. So that says a lot. That says a lot. However, the text I sent you, no word, it's on the screen if you can read that, says, "Oh God, my diabetes." Because this is the most fucking saccharine thing I've ever seen. I didn't hate it. That was the problem. That's probably the biggest takeaway for me, was that it's the complete fucking antithesis of anything I've watched and liked in the last probably 5 years. No, certainly since we've been doing this show. It's everything we've liked has had a bit of an edge, has had a bit of darkness, had a bit of character to it. This is just like, as you said, this is, hey kids, drugs are bad. Hey kids, don't talk to strangers. Hey kids, don't take sweets from strangers. And when I watched it, because it's been Thanksgiving this week, I watched there was a Thanksgiving episode, which is one I sent you earlier on. Mm-hmm. And you've got a mean guy who's making crabby apple pies so that the apple pie is off and makes everybody miserable. And the whole
mad.
thing,
it's madness.
The reason they're not up in the clouds anyway, they're down on Earth, is that there's a boy who needs help, a boy called Tony, who's been asked to give a speech about what Thanksgiving makes to him in front of the town's Thanksgiving pageant thing, and so he can't work out what Thanksgiving means, and everybody then starts to cancel Thanksgiving because they're all being miserable cunts because they've eaten the apple pie. There's a fight between Graham's bear, who's the grandmother bear, and Sour Sam, who made the off pie. An actual fight, and he learns that what the meaning of Thanksgiving is, and he gives this whole fucking 3-minute diatribe about the meaning of Thanksgiving, about family coming together, and I thought, fucking hell.
It's nuts. It's fucking nuts. I'm genuinely quite pleased, but very surprised that you actually did like it, because when I was first watching this, I was like, oh my God, this is your holy water. This is like, I was watching it thinking, oh my God, Mark is just gonna fucking hate this.
Don't get me wrong, I've got insulin on standby.
Yeah, I mean, it's unbelievable. I had an absolute hoot and a half watching this show. Like, it's awful in all the right ways. That is the best thing I can say about it. But actually, then in a lot of the ways that count as well, it's like it's really well produced. The animation is really slick. There's nothing wrong with the voice talent. It ticks all the boxes. It's just that it's so saccharine sweet. It is unbelievable.
It is, but I mean, I think if you look at some of the cartoons we've looked at, especially of late, they've tried to be, some things have tried to be sort of hyper realistic, and other things just go so fucking far off the wall that you can't really follow them. There's a nice sort of blend to this, and I think it's the difference between sort of the early to mid 80s vibe as opposed to some of the early 90s stuff we've looked at. But like in the Thanksgiving one I watched, the fact that there's an alert goes out, so that Cher Bear is in trouble, so they all go down to Earth to help her, and they all turn up in fucking cloud cars, which are cars that can fly, but they all just pull up on the side of the road. And
I
they
mean,
all
the
park
cloud
properly.
cars are amazing. That
But
is
they
one of
actually
the
fucking park. It's like,
yeah.
it's just so weirdly normal.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing, isn't it? What something I've been looking for meaning for, and maybe I just haven't seen the episode that explains this. Okay, and there's certainly a divide between the two seasons as well, as far as I can tell. And again, I could be wrong because I've not watched the entirety of either season. But it seems like the first series, then I shouldn't call them seasons really; they're more like series. The first series is very much about there's a kid on Earth in trouble because of this, and they are quite real problems. There's like, oh, because they're expecting a new baby, so this one feels left out, or this one's been bullied because they've got braces, or like really just normal problems. And then in the second series, and which was the series I remembered more from childhood, I must be honest, the second series, there are villains. Like the K-Biz have villains that will cause these problems. Things like the guy with the pies. Okay, it's not just a problem. It's not an organic problem that's coming out of life. So there's something more structured, I think, about that second series is the thing. But when you get all of these things, like you say, like the K-Biz come down and they just parallel park and everybody reacts to them, but nobody ever goes, what the fuck are you?
Well, yeah.
Everybody just knows that the K-Biz, like they get, even in the first series where there's these normal problems and the K-Biz appear out of nowhere to fix the issue. The introduction literally goes as far as, I'm Tenderheart Bear. Next thing you know, they're calling them K-Bears all the way through the episode. And it's just like everybody instinctively knows what a K-Bear is.
Well, it was the same in the Care Bears family one. So that was the second series where they introduced...
so you had the cousins.
Yeah, the cousins. So you had Braveheart, who was a lion. Why they call him fucking Lionheart, I don't know. Would have been... maybe a little on the nose.
But everything's like, it's like Braveheart sounds more because he's courageous and stuff, isn't he? So Lionheart sounds a little bit more
aggressive.
Ferocious. Yeah, a little bit more aggressive, and like there is not an aggressive moment in this entire series that I can see.
No,
like,
I mean, literally because I've just watched it. Let's say that Thanksgiving one, he eats the pie and turns evil. And he loses his voice. He just fucking roars. Everybody else just gets really mean. Their eyes get a bit fucking, bit snarly, and they talk with a slight rasp to their voice. He fucking roars like a lion.
Well, he is a lion. Let's be honest. He is a lion.
But nobody else loses the ability to speak. They just turn into dicks.
Yeah.
He starts roaring like a cub. He's not a fucking MGM lion or anything. It's a bit like Simba at the start of life.
I was going to say, he's like Simba then, yeah? Took the words out of my mouth.
Yeah. But yes, you get it. So you had that. There was a bunny one as well. There was a cat one later on as well that came in, I think, in seconds. There's a monkey
as well, isn't there?
This monkey, I can't remember what the monkey was called. So, I mean, that was a bit fucking weird. But yeah, I mean, that was, I think, as I said, there's a bit more structure to those episodes.
There definitely is.
But I don't think, I mean, for me, I don't think the message was as clear. I don't think they were as on point and as nice as Care Bears was supposed to be.
Well, I mean, it's not as clear just because the message is literally as subtle as a sledgehammer in the first series. There's no attempt made to try and be...
No, they don't bury the lead at all, do they?
Not at all. It is just... Oh, it's just clumsy as hell. It is literally just like somebody throwing a fluffy house brick at your head. It's just... It's like somebody's just got a potpourri hand grenade that they just throw at you. It's unfucking believable how nice this first series is. Like offensively nice. It is like, and look, it's been pastiched many times since. Like if you haven't seen this first series, you have definitely seen other shows taking the piss out of it.
Yes.
But I think because it's been so long, and because look, I'll be honest, like as a 40-something-year-old man, I don't think I've even properly thought about the K-Bears for 30 years, if I'm honest.
I only have because number one has a onesie, which is it's not a Care Bear onesie, but it has a teddy bear sort of head, hood on it, and it's fucking neon pink and blue, so it looks a bit like a Care Bear. So that's the only reason it sort of springs to mind for me. But yeah, I mean, I'm the same. I've not fucking thought about Care Bears for years.
No, but then in the interim, whenever you see like cartoon values being lampooned, when you get like the cut, we had it recently on better than Mario when we were looking at Happy Time Murders with the dancing puppet in the front. Anytime anybody's overly nice and overly cartoony, it's like this is where it's drawing from.
Yeah.
And you sort of forget how exactly on the nose. Even looking at things that came later in the 90s, things like Happy Tree Friends, where obviously that has to draw from somewhere. Yeah. And I think it was instant. The first thing I thought of, and of course I realized this in the 90s watching it as well, but as soon as I watched these first episodes, I was like, oh, it's like Happy Tree Friends, but it's actually nice. Yeah, like they're not actually trying to kill each other.
Yeah.
But there was just something that I found hilarious about how earnest that was. It's just so bad. Like the dialogue is fucking appalling.
Yes,
because everything is just about how it's great to be nice and it's lovely to share and the courage lives inside of you, and you just, like I said, it's all the things that Get Along Gang was trying to do as well. And you might remember from our episode on Get Along Gang, I actually praised that for how well they kind of enveloped all of that within their story. Like, it was always clear what they were going for, but they always constructed a narrative around it, and it made sense. And generally, there was something coming out of one of those characters, which was like, oh, well, they're going to do this week, and everybody's got to teach them why that's bad. But with the Care-Bears, because they're all so inherently nice, you can't use the Care-Bears to have that. Like, a Care-Bear can't all of a sudden decide they're not going to share this week. They can't just become a dick because they want to. They can't learn lessons. So we have to have these kind of human children, and it's always like, I swear it's the same kid, they just give them a different name. They always look the fucking same, but there's always like either a boy or a girl. There's never like two of them. It's a boy or a girl, and they have an issue, and the Care-Bears magically know that there's this issue, come down in their fucking cloud car, which is awesome. So and solve the issue through nothing other than basically therapy. Like, they don't really fucking, like, I know they've got the magic wishing things on their chest, but they very rarely do they actually use powers. It's more like they just talk to them all.
I mean, again, they use powers more in the second series where they have the villains to fight. I mean, it's interesting what you were saying there about before I forget about Get Along Gang and sort of the way that was structured differently. That, again, this does have that very much greeting card feel to it, whereby everything that they say could be written in a fucking greeting card.
But even more so.
Yeah, I mean, every pearl of wisdom, it's like, well, they've lifted that from Hallmark. Oh, that's a Father's Day card. That's a new baby card. That's a congratulations you haven't got AIDS card, or whatever they want to go for. It's just it's just like, oh, fucking hell, just give some actual dialogue.
Yeah, and there is none of that, and every bit of dialogue in there is entirely functional, and that is it. Like, they express emotions through talking, and that is it, which is really weird because the animation is actually pretty fucking good. Yes. And it's definitely competent enough that they can emote. They don't need to speak everything out loud, and especially when they're the Care-Bears and they've all got their own individual feeling fucking tattooed on their chest.
Yeah.
Like, it should be pretty easy to just get that stuff over through movement. They don't have to speak. But anyway, there is something inherently charming about it for that. It's terrible. Don't get me wrong. I am not praising it. It's fucking terrible. This is, looking at it through a particular lens, I would say this is without shadow of a doubt the fucking worst cartoon we have ever had to watch for this show. And I say had to because some of them I enjoy because they're good. This one, like, it's morbid curiosity. I've enjoyed the hell out of watching it, but it's always been like, what the hell am I going to be confronted with during this episode? And then I purposely tried to seek out the ones that sound the fucking weirdest, because some of them, they really stretch for these problems as well. There is an entire fucking 15-minute episode about a kid getting braces, for fuck's sake. What the fuck is that?
So I went out and looked for the one that sounded the most random, and so I found the one which was Graham's Bear versus Sour Sam. Yeah. Which is the Thanksgiving one. So I'm not expecting a Care-Bear smackdown.
No. But then they kind of do, don't they? They don't fight, but they all kind of like team up and project their rainbow things from their chest.
This was an actual food fight. They were throwing pies and shit, and he was shooting pies at them with a pie gun, because obviously. And no, he got Graham's Bear into a baking tray and was loaded her onto a conveyor belt, covered her in pastry, and was very, very slowly inching her into an oven to make her into a pie.
Wow.
Now, that's probably the darkest it got. However, the kid who had to do the Thanksgiving speech and the two baby Care Bears, which I'll come on to them in a second, because they were fucking weird.
Many questions.
They managed to operate the machine, and rather than turning the machine off, pushing the big red fucking button and turning it off, or reversing the conveyor belt so she came back out, they got a big ass spatula to lift her up out of the oven and put her down on the side. At which point she sat up and broke all the pastry and got out.
Okay. Why couldn't she? I mean, if she could break the pastry, why didn't she just eat her way out to start with? I mean,
or just sit up and get out of the fucking baking tray.
That as well. But yeah, I mean, there were all sorts of weird logic gaps. Like this show is not concerned with plot or story in the slightest. It literally is like, well, we've talked about this in the show before. Like, do you remember like when you were little and you'd go to the dentist and they'd give you a sticker to say how good you'd been, like when you know, because you didn't have any cavities today, or you were really good and you didn't kick the dentist in the crotch or whatever because they were drilling you. Like, it is the animated equivalent of that. It is like literally, here is a singular emotion that we're going to express, which is a positive thing. You have been good this week because you didn't drown your sister. Well done. And that's what it is. Like, it is literally, this is why killing your sister is bad, kids. Like, it's unbelievably basic, and there is something amazing. And like, I jest, but there are episodes which border on that. There are episodes which, like, one of the episodes I saw, the kid's going to get a new baby sister, and he's not keen on the idea because he's used to being the only child. So his spoilt brat friend comes around, and the pair of them, whilst the parents are at the hospital and the mother's giving birth, which seems to happen in the space of about 5 minutes, and then they bring the baby home immediately afterward. I mean, it is America, so
you stay in hospital as little time as you can because you've got to pay for it.
Because it costs you money, so while this is going on, they fucking trash the house. And when I say trash the house, it is literally this dick of a friend is going like, I know what'll be funny, let's kick the shit out of the TV. Like, what is that? Though. Who does that? Like, they make a fucking boxcar and ride it through the house.
Bunch of cunts.
Who does shit like that? Like, but it's just a way of like getting over in 10 minutes, like how spoiled this kid is and how mean he's feeling. And then of course the K-Bears have to talk him into sort of coming to accept his sister, and then all of a sudden they have a complete change of heart in the space of 30 seconds. Everything's hunky-dory, and even the friend loves the little kid's sister and starts apologizing, and it's just like, this makes no sense. This makes no sense. And you've literally told what is essentially 3 lines of story in 15 minutes with no connective tissue. Nothing that makes any kind of sense whatsoever. Is just, this is bad because of this, but this is how you fix it. Now everyone's happy. And every episode I watched of that first series seemed to be that basic. And there's something kind of beautiful about that in the most horrendous way. You pair it up with that disgusting theme tune, which is easily the worst theme tune we've ever had on this show.
Yes, without question.
Quite aside from the fact, like, there is no discernible melody as such. It's also the fact that, like, all of those kids are off key. Like, what is going on there? Like, are those one of the producer's kids or something? And they were just like, I know, let's get them to sing.
Well, was it like a precursor to Make-A-Wish?
I mean,
you get to sing the theme tune, you get to hear it before you die,
you know,
and then you die of shame.
Do you know what? Knowing this show, maybe you're onto something there. Honestly, maybe you're onto something there. I don't know. Maybe it is like, let's get a bunch of underprivileged kids or something, and they all want to be singers. So we'll and like maybe everybody thought, because don't forget that first season was quite short as well. Maybe everybody's thinking like, this fucking show, this is going nowhere. Fucking K-Bears. Stick kids and it'd be fine. I mean, having said that, you know, that first series, like, Sherlock did a lot of the producing on that. Like, it's not like there's nobodies, you know, like Sherlock did Inspector Gadget, for fuck's sake, and loads of the other shows that we've talked about as well. So this is not like it hasn't come from pedigree. It's a bizarre fucking show. But that theme tune especially, and I seem to have noted, like, whilst the opening theme tune changes, and especially on the K-Bears family later on, is the intro I remember with all the cousins dancing with them and stuff. I that is one of the images I had that I remember the K-Bears. The fucking end credits theme stays the same, and that's the really bad one. That's the bit.
It's bizarre.
Like, the opening theme is bad, but it's not anywhere near as bad as the end theme. I don't understand how that theme was allowed on the TV. It's offensive. Yeah. It's awful. Like,
yeah, it's just it just seems that it was an afterthought.
Yeah, it literally seems like they finished the first episode and went, "Oh fuck, we haven't got a theme.
Yeah,
what are we gonna do?
Quick.
Yeah, quick, grab them 2 kids off the street, sit them in front of the microphone, tell them to hum. Let's do that." Like, it's awful, 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 awful. Yeah. You'll be subjected to it at the end of the show, listeners. Don't worry. But yeah, whereas it's like, I wouldn't say it's great, but the opening to the K-Biz family at least it's slicker. You get the villains in there. The theme tune is a bit better at least. But then,
not much.
As I say, now I say that's the one I can remember, but the main thing I remember about K-Biz is K-Biz the movie.
Yeah.
Okay. Specifically because, and I can't pinpoint the time exactly because I reckon they would have both been the same year, but it was either the first or second film I ever saw in a cinema, and I am pretty sure it's the first.
Yeah. No, I was going to say the same thing. I didn't see it in the cinema, but my parents have repeatedly said it's the first film my brother saw in the cinema.
So that would track,
and that would, I mean,
yeah.
Phil was September 80. Yes, you'd have been sort of same school, same
school year.
Yeah. So yeah, that would track. But yeah, so I mean, it's one of those. I didn't have that experience, but something that I always pick it being about, I don't know, 86, 87.
Well, this is what I'm thinking. It would have been kind of 85, 86, I think, something like that. I was definitely a small child, but it was either that my nan and my mother took me to K-Biz the movie after a shopping trip in Cardiff, or it was Basil the Great Mouse Detective with my dad to shut me the fuck up on a Saturday afternoon. It was one of those two was my first film.
Now, ironically, that was they were also my brother's first two. That was my brother's second one, and my dad had been working shifts and fell asleep during the film. So my brother, being similar age, got up, took himself off to the toilet, came back, found my dad, sat down. At the end of the film, because we only lived like 2 streets from him, he was going to walk home and leave my dad there to sleep.
Excellent. Excellent.
And it's only somebody sort of caught him walking out, and he's like, "Where are you going? Where's your mum and dad? Oh, he's sleeping in there."
Could you imagine a kid doing that today? Like, it just wouldn't. You just would not get away with that today, would you? Like, the 80s, everybody, they were fantastic. Well,
Gary Slater certainly thought so.
Yeah. Ooh. I mean, come on, Rod Hull last week, Gary Glitter this week. You just. Oh dear. So. I think K-Biz was first. I want to say it would have been the same year, but I think this was actually the first film I ever saw in cinema. I certainly convinced myself of that, and that is one of the only things I remember on K-Biz. Now, I have no fucking idea why my nan and my mother decided to take me to. I don't think it was like I showed any real fucking interest in K-Biz, other than it was probably they thought it might be cute to take me to the cinema. That was on, and it was suitable for kids.
It wasn't like, I mean, it's not like now where you have like you'll have a dozen films showing, and half of them are suitable for kids.
No, and it wasn't even like it was fucking He-Man, She-Ra, where it was like, oh yeah, he really fucking loves He-Man. Let's take him to that. Like, I think I had a K-Bear, but I'm not even that sure. I've got a feeling I had. Is it the brown one's Tender Heart Bear, right? Yeah. I've got a feeling I had a Tender Heart Bear. If I did, it's long gone now, But I guess I wouldn't have remembered anyway because Montgomery Moose was my bestie. So even if I did have a K-Bear, I'd have just been like, well, you can fuck off because the Get Along Gang are way better than the K-Bears. And I've got a Montgomery Moose. So you fuck off your magic fucking wishing heart bollocks.
Yeah, no, I had a Popple, which I've still got. Jess has it now. It's lived in my parents' attic for years. But I was thinking about this the other day because that's not on our list. But I watched the very first episode with Jess not too long ago, and they're fucking tweakers. We should put Popples on the list then. They're properly fucking mental. Yeah, they're on something.
Put it on the list.
I mean, and it's quite funny. Like you look at the Netflix reboot that happened a couple of years ago, and the same with Care Bears, and it's a lot more watered down, and it's whoa! I've got to stop you right now. I know there was a Care Bears reboot because I've seen the scary CGI Care Bears. Who the fuck Who thought it was a good idea to reboot Popples? No idea. But that's all really fucking dodgy CGI as well. But yeah, it's really fucking mental. I can't remember what point I was making, but yeah. You look at the reboots now. And they focus a lot more on no. They have no, as we said, they have a message, they have a point, and there's very much a no. This is what this week's episode is doing. This is what we're talking about. But in the meantime, we'll just have some fucking chaos.
Yeah,
and they've gone down the same route, and they've kind of gone away from where those original shows came from. Certainly with Care Bears, it's nowhere near as nice as it was.
I mean, I think you have to. I don't think Care Bears, as it is in any of these iterations, I don't think that could exist in today's society. I think we're too fucking jaded.
It could. Well, we are, because we're nearly fucking 40.
I think kids are as well. Like maybe it's just because we look back through rose-tinted glasses, but I'm pretty sure most of kids' TV today is a lot fucking sharper than it was when we. I
don't know though, because I think the limiting factor here would be when this was on first. Certainly in this country, you had 3 fucking channels, so you took what you could get.
Yeah.
And if you were a kid, if you were, I don't know, maybe up to about 7 or 8, and you were in watching cartoons, then this shit was on. And if you're older than that, fuck off and play. Go outside and get some fresh air and possibly molested by Gary Glitter. But it was that sort of thing that you didn't have the choice. Whereas now you've got fucking 200 channels on TV, not all of them appropriate for kids, but there are dedicated kids channels which are on from 6 a.m. until fucking whatever. And then you've got Netflix, and you've got Prime, and you've got YouTube, and kids versions of all these things, or quote unquote safe versions where there's stuff for them to watch. So if you had this now, it would play to an audience that would appreciate it, but you wouldn't watch it past the age of sort of 4. Because
I get what you're saying. Yeah, whereas
you become a bit more jaded, a bit more world weary. I can't believe I'm saying that of a 5-year-old, but you would become a bit more, I don't know, a bit more aware, shall we say? And all of a sudden, the thing of always picking up after, always helping people, always looking after people, always teaching people to do good and to do better. That doesn't work once you get past age, because you're more. By the time you get to that sort of 5, 6 age, your morality as a child is about as peak. You know what's right, you know what's wrong, you know what you should and shouldn't do, you know what other people are doing wrong. And if you're my kids, you fucking tell everybody every 2 minutes what they're doing wrong. I think that's just a kid thing. I hope it's just a kid thing. Otherwise, I'm a really bad parent.
I'm doing that every day at the moment. So, and I've got no excuse.
Yeah, I wish you'd stop telling me what I'm doing wrong. But yeah, so I mean, after about, you wouldn't have the exposure to this after about 4 or 5, because it wouldn't work for you. And as a parent, you'd be saying, right, well, that's a bit young for you. Why don't we try moving on to, I don't know, Lego Star Wars? Because it's more interesting for me. But because it's you want to pitch something that's going to keep their interest, and something that's going to that'll entertain them, but they might actually grow into. Whereas, and if you look at setting up the kids profiles on Amazon as an example, you put the ages in, and what the content changes by the age. So if you say, right, I want content suitable for a 4 to a 6-year-old, and then you change it to 5 to 7, half the crap disappears straight away, because they say, right, that's playing too young. And it's based on developmental and where they should be developmentally and stuff like that. So I mean, there's a far greater reliance on people actually sitting down and watching it to get this across. And I think that and certainly you look at the Netflix one, you're not going to appeal to anywhere near as many people as you did, or you're not going to be exposed to as many people as you were, just because there's so much choice and there's so much other crap out there.
I think you hit on something interesting there as well, just towards the end, where you mentioned it can sort of be filtered out based on their kind of stage of development and whatever developmental issues they may or may not have and things like that. And that's interesting, because I definitely think, again, this is probably the difference in the timeframes, but as a society, we're probably more aware of children's fundamental needs as they grow in and being educated than we would have been in the 80s. And whereas now you might be able to filter stuff and say, well, actually, I know this 7, but maybe actually, developmentally, yeah. So maybe this isn't suitable for them, and there's a great deal of concern about that. And I think that's definitely something that's baked into some shows now. Whereas in the 80s, like, all you cared about was, okay, we need more Care Bears because the toys are fucking flying off the shelves.
Yeah.
Fuck what it meant for development developmental stuff for the kid. Like, fuck whether they learned anything. Fuck whether they actually learned to be nice. Nobody cared. It was all about you must have, and that's why the fucking Care Bears cousins came along, because they were, all of a sudden the kids have got all the Care Bears. So, and it's ironic in a show that's trying to teach you a nice message. Like, the primary motivating factor is, of course, greed and commercialism, just like it is with any other fucking cartoon in the 80s. They want to sell you toys. If you're not buying Care Bears, this thing doesn't get made. It's that simple.
And I mean, I'm looking at, I've got a list in front of me of the original ones. There were 10. So you had Bedtime Bear, Birthday Bear, Cheer Bear, Friend Bear, Funshine Bear, Good Luck Bear, Grumpy Bear, Love a Lot Bear, Tender Heart Bear, and Wish Bear. Now, should Love a Lot Bear be called Slut Bear?
I mean, she love you a long time. It depends, I think, doesn't it, on your interpretation of love a lot.
Yes.
But surely, don't they all love a lot?
Well, yeah. Well, they all care. Whether they love is different, isn't it? But then, I mean, they added another 16 in the by the 90s. So you had the two babies. You had Baby Hugs and Baby Tugs.
Right, now where did the babies come from?
Well, one a Mummy Care Bear and a Daddy Care Bear love each other. No, I don't know. And that's the thing. That was we mentioned earlier on. I mean, they were fucking weird because like they look a bit like they were ripped off from Wile E. Kit and Wile E. Cat. They wanted younger ones for no other reason than they had to be younger. But they didn't speak younger. They didn't act younger.
But again, it's because of the toys, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that they can have
sell to younger kids.
Yes, it's exactly that. So instead of having a fucking doll of whatever it's going to be, they've got a little baby Care Bear. That's exactly what it is.
Now, one thing with those, apart from the fact that they weren't their age, no, they weren't baby bears at all. They wore nappies, but their tails poked out through a hole in the back.
So they're useless nappies.
So what's the point in having a nappy with a fucking hole in the back?
Right, okay, let's get into this then, because we have this discussion, it seems like, on almost every other episode at the moment now when we're talking cartoons. So those two wear nappies. Yep. Therefore, socially, it is acceptable or it is expected, even, for Care Bears to cover up their bottom halves. Like, they can't just be...
Maybe they don't go shitting in the woods.
Well, yeah, they can't just be wandering around taking dumps in woods. That's exactly where I was going with that. But they wear nappies. So therefore, the other Care Bears have made a conscious choice that once they reach maturity, they no longer have to, like, they swing free. They just, I mean, none of them have any genitalia, but they, once they reach adulthood, they're just like, well, fuck clothes. They're essentially a colony of fucking nudists.
Yeah.
They don't
raise their children as nudists.
They're all nudists. They got them big old tattoos on their chest as well. Like, there's something a bit fruity going on up in the clouds there. What was it called? Was it Care-a-Lot, isn't
Care-a-Lot,
it? Yeah, which is like a play on Camelot. There's something a bit fruity going on up in fucking Care-a-Lot, I tell you.
There was a Love-a-Lot as well.
Care-a-Lot and Love-a-Lot.
Yeah. I can't remember where I read that, but there was, I'm sure there was a Love-a-Lot as well in one of the later versions.
Okay.
I'm not going to find it now because it's done.
I don't know. I remember Care-a-Lot and I remember the cars and stuff. But speaking of Care-a-Lot, like, we've said that quite a lot of times already in this episode. Say Care-a-Lot a lot. That's bad syntax. Anyway, we've said that. Yeah, we've said that a lot in this episode. Now, and I've also talked about the theme tune as well. Like, why didn't they just... Oh, I mean, I guess it wasn't written by this point, but why did they not use something like Faith No More on the credits? But then, as I'm saying it out loud, I'm like, do you know what? That probably wasn't written at this point. I don't know when We Care a Lot was written, but probably not by the time Care Bears was out.
Well, I wouldn't have thought so.
Ignore me. I'm talking bollocks. Let's ask Google. See what it says. It doesn't tell me.
You say you're talking bollocks, but we've been doing very little else for the last 35 minutes.
Right. Do you know when We Care a Lot was actually released? 1985.
Ooh, bang on when this would have been around.
So why... I wonder if there's some weird alternate reality where that was actually like... Can you imagine?
Oh, man, that would be amazing.
Can you imagine? Like, I mean, obviously, lyrically, it doesn't really fit with the tone of the theme of the Care Bears, but it's a much better chorus and it suits them.
Yeah, it's a much fucking worse chorus, could it?
Somebody must have done that on YouTube. If they haven't, I might have to get on it. Like, I want a YouTube video of Care-a-Lot Bear just running around stamping on motherfuckers set to We Care a Lot. Like, I just want that, like a greatest hits collection of him just like shooting the shit out of his chest and like beating whatever the wizard was called. I never did work out what the wizard was called. I'm sure I knew when I was fucking.
The wizard was No Heart.
That's it. No Heart. There was
No
another
Heart
one.
and Beastly, and then you had Professor Coldheart.
Coldheart. That's the other one. Yeah.
And his wife Auntie Freeze.
Oh, you're fucking kidding me.
Nope.
You're fucking kidding me.
No, I'm not, I swear.
That's like Batman and Robin level bad punnery. That's fucking awful. I love it. It just suits this show, doesn't it?
It does. I mean, yeah, it's quite amazing. Going back to the names of the bears, though, I mean, there was after that first series, they did get a bit more on the nose. So you had Baby Hugs and Tugs, you had Champ Bear, you had Dave.
Wait. Just say those two again together like that.
Well, you mean the way I intentionally said it?
Yeah.
I'm very sure I went there when I was in Bangkok.
Now, come on, that's not accidental, is it?
Of course it's not.
That is not accidental. No way.
Not at all.
Jesus Christ. That's awful. Like
just in case Tori actually listens to this episode, I've never been to Bangkok. I made that up entirely as a joke.
Well,
let's be fair. We've been doing this for 6 fucking years. She's never listened. So what are the odds?
Well, I mean, look, if it can get you in trouble, then this is going to be the one, isn't it? Sod's Law and all that. But like, I feel a bit bad about that, and it showed this fucking innocent.
But they do get. I mean, they don't get that fucking obvious later on, but they do get a bit more cynical. Like they had in the 2000s when they brought the next lot, they had America Cares Bear, which I'm assuming was their 9/11 response. Oopsie Bear, Play a Lot Bear, Amigo Bear, because you need ethnicity.
Oh my god, jeez! I thought the Irish Bear was bad enough in the original.
Yeah.
Animation, but what's the Irish Bear called? That's the Good Luck Bear or whatever, isn't it?
That is Good Luck Bear.
Yeah, with like the really fucking bad leprechaun faux Irish accent and the fact that he's emerald green
and with a 4
yeah, I mean that's fucking bad enough. But to have
put a pint of Guinness on him, and I'm done with it.
To have Amigo Bear.
I'm gonna have a look at Amigo Bear now.
If he has a mustache, that's it. I'm done.
Oh, there's no picture.
It's gonna crease me.
There's no. Okay, Amigo Bear debuted as a plush toy in 2006. Has since made an appearance in various 2000 Care Bear media. Amigo Bear is the first bilingual bear and is fluent in Spanish. He has red-orange fur with an Aztec-style spiral sun He has red-orange fur with an Aztec-style spiral sun surrounded by hearts as his tummy symbol. When he first talks, he uses a Hispanic accent.
Well, of course he does.
Yeah.
I mean, Jesus Christ, just put a fucking sombrero on him and
I was going to say, put a sombrero and a poncho on him and have him selling watches by the side of the road.
Jesus Christ. This is the weird thing about this show, isn't it? Like for everything that's really nice about it, you get shit like that. There is some really fucking racist shit in that first series, really fucking racist. It's quite bad,
but it's okay because they have a brown bear.
Well, they have every color.
Yeah, but it's okay. It's not racist because they have a brown one. It's fine.
Yeah, but I mean, even the kids that they go and see as well, like, most of those kids are fucking white.
Yeah.
Like, most of them are white, affluent kids.
Yes.
I mean, maybe they were afraid to touch anything, because it was, like I say, it was pretty scant. Maybe they thought they couldn't actually get away with it. I don't know, but
again, I mean, we've had this discussion before, and I know we've had it off air as well, that if it's only a problem if you make an issue of it. They could have quite easily gone to a black child or a Hispanic child or an Asian child and you don't need to mention it. You don't need to reference it. You just have a child who looks slightly different than the normal white kid.
Yeah.
I say normal as in usual, not normal as in we're normal and everybody else isn't. But rather than going to the same white suburb every week, go somewhere else because other kids have the same problems.
I mean, I don't know whether some of it might have been budgetary, because like I said, to me, like, it got to the point where there were some episodes, they go down and visit the little boy, and before they named him, I'd be like, is that the same kid? And is that how he knows that they're the kid?
He had slightly different colour hair.
Yeah,
it'd be a slightly different shade of brown.
And that would be about it, and they'd have a different name. Like, one week it'd be Billy, the next week it'd be Johnny, the next week it'd be Teddy.
It would be the same animation, but a different colour T-shirt. No, it's that. Yeah. It's that level of shit.
So maybe there was that about it. Maybe they didn't have to do all the character designs and stuff. But again, the animation it's pretty fucking good. So I don't see why you'd all of a sudden just cut back on something like that, you know?
No.
And it wasn't like they didn't have to draw other kids, because they were drawing bullies and things like that as well.
And not only that, even if you are using the same kid, you've got to ink it and color it regardless. So what difference does it make?
I mean, it would, in a lot of ways, I think it would have made more sense to have used the same kid. At least it would have given it some continuity. Like, okay, he'd be like the biggest cunt of a kid ever, because every week he'd be doing like he'd learn one lesson one week, and then like he'd have to learn something all over again the next week. Like this week he learns how to share. This week he learns not how to murder his sister. This week he learns not how to steal cars. Like, you know. My English is appalling tonight. This week he learns not how to steal cars.
I was just going to let that one slide.
What the fuck is wrong with me? These last couple of weeks.
How long have you got?
Well, yeah, I know, but these last couple of weeks I feel like I'm not even stringing fucking sentences together. Like I'm going fucking COVID crazy, I think. That's what it is. Like, anyway, what I'm trying to say is, if it's the same kid, like, other than taking one step forward and two steps back, at least there's continuity and you understand why he knows the Care Bears. And then that gives you a chance each episode for each individual Care Bear to shine, rather than it just be about, because there's normally like 3 or 4 of them that all go down together.
Yeah.
They all do their various things, even though, despite them having different powers and stuff as well, like, there seems to be very little actual difference, does there? They're like, they shoot a shiny thing out of their chest. What does that actually do? Because it seems to change episode to episode as well.
That's it. I mean, in the ones I watched, in one, it was used to basically some sort of mind changing ray, like a fucking Jedi mind trick. The next week, it was like a cannon, and it was like a ray gun, and it was being used as a weapon. There's no fucking logic to it. There's no pattern. It's just, we'll do the Care Bear stare, or the Care Bear countdown, as it became in Care Bear family. We'll do that, and we'll all shoot lasers out of our chest. But they'll do whatever we need them to do in the episode. We don't need the logic to it. We don't need any sort of internal logic that says, this is how they work, this is what they do.
No, they're kind of just the magic bullet every week. Oh, it's fine, we'll use the fucking chest raise. Yeah, it's fine. Because the episodes I watched, like I said, most of them, especially those early ones, they tend to give therapy instead. But then they'll still find an excuse, like at some point during the week, to make something float with their rays, or to like turn back time with their rays, or to like. But I could understand that, and this makes more sense, especially if you want to sell toys.
Yeah,
is for each one of them to do something slightly different, and occasionally it seems like they do, but most of the time it seems like even when they do whatever different thing is, it's not like linked to what bear that is.
Yeah, that's right.
Just
one of the ones I watched. I mean, they work a bit like a pager as well. Because when one of the ones I watched, Cher Bear was in trouble, so she did the old chest thing, and the light popped off her chest and appeared in the sky, and they all came fucking running like Thundercats.
I mean, I haven't seen that. That's just fucking weird.
That was in that Thanksgiving one I sent you. It just fucking floats off up to the sky, and they all see it and come running. I
mean, they just seem to. It seems like they're just making it up as they go along, by the sound of it.
Pretty much, yeah.
Which, I get it. It was to sell toys, as we were saying, so you don't need to do anything other than look pretty and make the kids want the Care Bears. But I mean, look, I said I had one, so whether I wanted one or whether, again, my mother just bought me one because she thought I might have liked it, just like taking me to the film, I don't know. But obviously, somewhere
maybe you were that kid. Maybe you were that kid who needed an intervention, and she thought that would be it. That would do it for you.
I mean, I probably was a little shit. I'll be honest. I mean, I look back now, and I was an only child, so
yeah, I was youngest child, so I was definitely a little twat.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, but I don't think I would have been a child that wanted a Care Bear. Maybe I'm wrong.
Who knows?
I mean, I would have been so young that I can't remember. But I had Montgomery Moose. What the fuck did I need a Care Bear for? Other than to fight Montgomery Moose, obviously. Montgomery Moose would obviously always win. He had roller skates. So, like, he's faster. He's got antlers. Like,
he's better.
Well, yeah, he's a moose. Would a moose be a bear? I think they would.
No, there's one for who wins.
Bears are pretty fucking nasty, mind, aren't they?
But they're kind of cumbersome and slow, aren't they?
And don't bears run away if you chase them?
Yeah, if you kind of sort of
make yourself big and run towards them, they run away, don't they? And a moose is fucking gigantic to begin with because he's got the big
with the antlers and shit.
Imagine one of them coming to you on roller skates. You'd just be like, no, thanks.
Yeah.
See ya.
Oh,
I'm
that
going to
would be
get my
fucking
little
hilarious,
fucking
watching the moose
cloud
on
car, and I'm going to fuck off. Like, yeah.
Yeah, being
How
charged by a moose on roller skates, I would love to see that.
how the fuck did we get to roller skating mooses? I swear I haven't been drinking this week. I promise.
It's only Monday. You can always
Yeah,
tell.
like how the fuck did we get to roller skating? I nearly
Maybe
said,
that's the problem. Maybe you haven't had a drink. Maybe you're like Bender. You need alcohol in your system to function properly.
maybe. So God help us next week.
That's fine.
So
Offies are
so
open.
I know how I got there. So yeah, there was definitely market saturation in as much as I had a Care Bear, even if I hadn't have asked for one, I had a Care Bear. And I tell you what, I do remember, and I do remember actually quite liking, was besides having, like, we all think of Care Bears as like the stuffed toys, and that's what most of us
There
would
were
have had.
plastic ones as well.
Yes, yes.
No, I had some of those.
So did I, they came with the car.
Right.
You had the car, or maybe they didn't come with the car. I don't know, but they definitely.
I think the car was
They
separate.
sat in the car.
Yeah.
I definitely had those because they definitely fought He-Man a bunch of times.
I was going
So
to say,
I
mine
definitely
rode on.
had those.
Do you remember with He-Man there was a fucking single-seater green lizard type car?
Yes, yeah.
They sat on there for me. They used to. That was their car.
Okay. Yeah, no, I definitely had the cloud car because I remember that more than the actual figures. But I remember there being little plastic figures, and they were quite small figures as well.
Oh, yeah. Also, they fit in the back of Ecto One, so they were taken away in Ecto One all the time.
So they really were quite small then.
Oh yeah, they were like 4-inch plastic articulated things.
Yeah, just small enough for any kid of the right age to play with them to choke on.
Well, no, because they were probably slightly too big. Because unless the head came off or the arm came off, they were too wide to get in your mouth.
I mean, I tried some weird shit as a kid. What can I say?
I don't want to know. Not touching that one.
That's what she said. But
yeah, well, you put in your mouth is your own business.
I definitely remember having those. So there was definitely this thing worked. It did what it needed to do. Looking
massive. I mean, you look at the merch that went with it. There were books. There were greetings cards that we talked about. There were comics. There was music. There was a video game. No, there were a couple of video games actually. There was an Atari version planned in the very early 80s. And then they had PC games, even as far as the mid 20s.
Aha! It's catching. You can't talk now.
I don't know what that decade is called. So the 2000s.
It's the aughts.
The aughts. There you go. Fucking long day. Or
the noughties, but I hate that term.
That.
Naughty sounds like a fucking ITV chav term, doesn't it? Sounds like something you get on like The Only Way Is Essex or whatever.
It's to me, it sounds like fucking Benny Hill's. The Benny Hill Girls. That's what they should have been called.
Yeah, exactly. It sounds like titty ye not and all that.
Yeah,
just bollocks. I hate that term. It's the aughts.
Yeah, that's what I couldn't remember. So thank you for that. Yeah. But yeah, even as far as 2008, they were making new games.
I've never played a Care Bears game in my life.
There was a game called Catch a Star, which was on the PC. There was Care Bears Care Quest for the Game Boy Advance. In 2008, there was a game called Care Bears Playday, which was released for V-Smile baby infant development systems. So
I remember them.
I know them.
Yeah, I know them. Yeah.
Yeah, so there was that. There was an interactive toy. It was Share a Story, introduced in 2005. So kind of like a Teddy Ruxpin type.
I was going to say, is that like a Teddy Ruxpin? Yeah.
Yeah. So there was loads of fucking stuff like that, and there were fucking albums in the 80s.
I was going to say, right, I was waiting for you to finish. I was going to say, I know there were definitely albums because I had some Care Bears albums as well. I don't know that, as you were talking about merch, I just suddenly had, sometimes you just get those fucking lightning flashes of things.
Yeah.
I just had a lightning flash. It's a white album cover and you flip it over and it's got Care-a-Lot Bear and Funshine Bear on the back, with a cloud with a rainbow coming off it. I can see it now.
I can't see it.
I can't tell you what was on it. Probably that fucking horrendous theme. So I can definitely picture that.
There were 5 LPs introduced in 1983, introducing the Care Bears Care for You, Adventures in Care-a-Lot, Care Bears Birthday Party, and Care Bears Christmas.
I tell you what else there were, I know for a fact, because I'm just remembering having these as well. They were fucking read-along books on tape.
Yeah, probably were.
Because I can remember those as well.
Yeah, there were. Over 45 million Care Bear books and books on tape were sold in the 1980s.
I fucking loved the book on tape.
Yeah, I can't beat the book on tape.
I distinctly remember K-Base and as we've already talked about, Puddle Lane. But I can hear the theme now. Just that now it's time to turn the page. I can hear it now. It's like I'm going to go down a rabbit hole here tonight. Somebody must have digitized that shit by now, right? There's got to be books on tape on like YouTube somewhere. I think I need that in my life.
Well, yeah, we'll see if we can find that. If we can, we'll post we'll signpost it. We may not put the link up because that would be wrong.
Yes.
But yeah, if it's there, we may mention it. But yeah, no, there were comics. Fucking Marvel, Star Comics did a run. And then what did I just read that made me laugh?
I've got a feeling there's been some fairly recent KB comics actually.
Probably. Yeah, where's comics gone? Yeah.
Probably fucking Image, I would imagine, but I don't know. That's me guessing.
It doesn't say on here. There may be. We'll have to look them up. The one thing I was going to say, we were talking about music. In 1986, Friends Make Everything Better, which was one of their releases, was released as a promotional item with Trianimic cough medicine. They were peddling fucking drugs.
I mean, of course they were, because why wouldn't you? Right, so...
Like Flintstone chewable morphine all over again.
Yeah. So, the K-Base Unlock the Magic was the recent comic series. It was a 4-issue run. I'm just trying to...
That's 2018, 2019.
Yeah. IDW. So, there you go.
Yeah, there was a TV series that went with it as well. And they had Justice Bear based on Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Nope, voiced by Sophia. Sophia Bush based Justice Bear on Ruth Bader Ginsburg. In 2020, Basic Fun released a new Care Bears toy line in the United States, United Kingdom, and Canada, based on this.
I mean, this is the one thing with it, isn't it? Like, this can literally go forever.
Yeah.
Because you can always find a new role model, a new, like, social justice champion that you can just go, let's model a Care Bear after them. This is a desirable personality trait. Let's model.
I've just read a bit before that. I caught the sentence about Ruth Bader Ginsburg. That was done as a one-off for International Day of the Girl in 2019. Humanitarian organisation CARE had celebrities design one-of-a-kind bears. So that was the one that was based on.
Oh, so it's not an official Care Bear.
Sorry, I misread it.
But still, the theme.
Yeah, you're right.
You could update this. Like, kids are always going to be arseholes.
Yeah. Kids
are always going to need teaching lessons. Yeah. Just those lessons are going to vary slightly. So that I think there's always going to be a need for Care Bears in the world. I don't know why there's a need for Care Bears, but not the Get Along Gang. I'm a little bit salty about that, if I'm honest.
I think
but that's personal preference.
Because they were actual characters and did stuff, whereas these are kind of tailor-made to this one shares, this one bakes apple pie, these two are babies, this one's grumpy. We don't want to be like Grumpy. This one's brave, this one's courageous, this one's this one's gentle and mild-mannered and caring. This one's a monkey. They've kind of they've gone right, rather than making any sort of attempt at nuance. We'll just go right. This is what we need this week. Bang! Hit you over the head with it.
Yeah, you're right. How you've just sent me down another rabbit hole here as well. Now, how is one of them a monkey and still has like all good personality traits? Like, everybody knows monkeys are absolute agents of chaos. That is what they are. Like, you can't have well-behaved monkeys.
Well, let's be fair. You go to a safari park and it's not the lion and it's not the bear that's climbing on top of your car, nicking your aerial and smashing your mirrors.
Fucking monkeys. They're the ones flinging shit everywhere. They're the ones jacking off. They're the ones, like, they're absolute arseholes. They have no respect for society whatsoever. Like, even within the animal kingdom, like, they have no respect for hierarchies or anything. They're just absolute arseholes. So how the hell is one of the K-Bear cousins a monkey? How does that work?
I don't know. I mean, the K-Bear cousins kind of freaked me out a little bit because, you did have a lion. You had an elephant who wasn't who was fat but wasn't any taller or bigger than the rest of them.
Well, they were all roughly the same size, weren't they? That's the thing. Like, even the Care Bears are quite. I mean, they're not very bear-like, are they? Yeah, I mean, they're teddy bears.
Yeah,
are they? Like, they look like teddy bears. They don't look like a fucking grizzly. They look like a tiny little teddy bear.
Yeah. So yeah, I just found it weird that they made no effort to make any of them any bigger. The only reason that Braveheart Bear that the lion one is bigger is because of the mane. The only reason the elephant one is bigger is because of the ears that sort of can stick up and out. Apart from that, they're all the same height. It's like a little bit of fucking perspective. Is that too much to ask for in a show about magic bears?
Well, yeah, I was going to say, but then at least that makes them all the same. So there's no negativity about this one looks different or that one. But then maybe that would have been a good thing. Like I say,
you celebrate difference.
Yeah, and it would have been quite nice for the Care Bears themselves to actually learn lessons within their society. But of course, they can't do that because they can't have any negative emotions whatsoever. Like, they are incapable of a single negative emotion. They are the just nicest, sweetest, most sickeningly wholesome characters I have ever encountered.
And that was I think pretty much all of the episodes of Care Bears Family I watched, where you did have the villains, their aim was to rid the world of Care Bears by some nefarious means. So there was always threat there. But that was where all the negativity was, and the way certainly that Sour Sam worked was that he would make everybody so fucking miserable that they wouldn't care anymore, and if they didn't care, there'd be no Care Bears. Now, whether there was a care meter whereby if it dipped below a certain level, then all the Care Bears would die, I don't know. But that if there was, that was never explained. But that was his logic, was that if he made the world miserable and they didn't care anymore, then there wouldn't be any more Care Bears.
I'm fairly certain that's the plot of one of the films, and there is a meter involved as well. So you may be onto something there. I could be wrong, but I'm fairly certain I remember that.
Caring meter. Hang on.
Yeah.
Shown prominently in most of the Care Bears films and the original TV series.
There you go.
Caring meter, renamed the Care-O-Meter in Care Bears Big Wish movie, is typically in the center of a care lot inside the Care Bears main meeting hall. This meter shows how much care it is both in Care Lot and on Earth. In the film's original show, it's shown as an unnumbered clock-like meter. In Care Bears Big Wish movie, the meter is shown with a rain cloud side and a rainbow, so one being less caring, one being more caring. Ideally, the caring meter should be all the way towards the rainbow side. Whenever the Care Bears or Care Bear cousins see the meter drop towards the rain cloud side, they try to prevent it from getting worse by going on caring missions to get people to care more, or for the Care Bears and Care Bear cousins themselves to do caring deeds. If the meter drops near zero, Care-O-Lot will suffer disasters such as thunderstorms, buildings and rainbows crumbling, or the bright colours of Care-O-Lot gradually turning into black and white. If the meter were to reach all the way to zero, Care-O-Lot would be gone forever, along with everyone and everything in it. So, okay, fair enough. There are consequences to that. But if you watch one episode, I watched about 4, that was not mentioned in any fucking thing I watched.
No, I do remember. I'd forgotten all about it until you mentioned it, and then I was like, "Yep, that's definitely in the movies. That is definitely how they had threat in it." So I do remember that.
But no, if you're going to do that, if that's a threat to your world, and it's going to be and you're going to reference the fact that if people don't care anymore, there'll be no Care Bears. You need some reference to the fucking mechanism of how you know that, or how that works. Not just throw it as one line in a diatribe about crappy apple pie, and be done with it.
And it also, if you think about it for more than a single second, it doesn't work, because the less people care, the more you need Care Bears.
Yeah.
So it actually doesn't work in any way, shape, or form, does it?
Yeah. And if you think of it by contrast with Inside Out, the Pixar movie, that was kind of done the same, whereby as things faded, you needed these things more, and that was the threat, because the more you need them, the less available they were. This is kind of the opposite of that. It just doesn't tally.
No, not at all. It makes very little sense. The more I think about it, the more I'm thinking that makes no sense whatsoever.
As a device, I can see how it could work, but it just doesn't seem to run the right way. It just seems to be a bit skew-if. If anything, surely the more people care, the less they need Care Bears.
The less you need Care Bears, yeah. Whereas the way this is geared now is the less people care, the less likely Care Bears are to be around. And then also, if they care that little, a Care Bear is going to show up, and they're going to be like, well, I don't fucking care, piss off. They're going to be like Bono, basically, where they're trying to do as much good as possible, and everybody's just like, yeah, but you're pricks, so fuck off. We don't care. Go and snap your fucking fingers elsewhere, you bespectable cunt.
Sorry, I'd forgotten about that particular finger clicking incident.
Yeah. So it doesn't make any sense.
No.
Does it?
No, it's bar backwards.
Yeah. I mean, look, that's not the only thing that doesn't make if you think about this show for more than 10 seconds, It makes no sense.
If you're
whatsoever.
old, if you're more than about 4.
Yeah, you're going to know instantly, okay? Just like I did. You're going to know instantly when you watch this show. You're either going to go along for the ride or you're not. And if you go along for the ride, it's not going to be because you're actually enjoying the fucking thing. It's going to be because it's hilariously
It's morbid
bad.
curiosity.
It's hilariously bad, and I absolutely recommend anyone go and watch it. Like, it's absolutely fucking hilarious. But having said all of that, as I say, the animation is great. It's clearly very high end. It's particularly like the early series looks a bit cheaper, but the later on in the runs you get, toys are obviously selling. Like, it looks really polished. You know, the voice talent is pretty good as well. It's only that fucking theme tune that's bad.
And the dialogue. The dialogue's pretty shitty.
The dialogue's never good at all. The story in general is never good at all. That's just inherent to what the K-Base is. There is no fucking story there. There is maybe a film's worth or an episode's worth. You can't repeat it every week. It's just not fucking good enough. But I kind of feel like it's just a polished turd, isn't it? That's what it is.
It's a glittery turd.
Yeah, a very fucking glittery turd. But that is essentially what it is. Having said that, I fucking enjoyed it. Will I watch it again? Quite possibly. I think there's just this little part of me that just loves how shit it is, and I found it entertaining. And you know, it's the same part of me that loves doing better than Mario every month. Because, you know, some of those films are painful and some of them are hilariously fucking bad. And there's a part of me that just loves that. I'm never going to, if I actually want to watch something, I'm never going to choose this over, say, Get Along Gang, or maybe even Raggy Dolls. I think I'd probably watch Raggy Dolls first as well. But this is just fucking hilarious. There is something just wonderfully bad and misjudged about it, I think. And I kind of love that. But look, this is just one show in what is now a huge multimedia franchise. Like we said, comics, books, games, umpteen shows, a CG reboot. I mean, it's only a matter of time before there's a live action movie, surely. Like,
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me because, I mean, we're at an age now where people having careers over in Hollywood are going, right, the stuff I watched as a kid, I can reintroduce that. Now, 99 times out of 100, they fuck it up because they go, no, I wanted to redo it because it meant so much to me as a child. But every now and again, you get a nugget of absolute gold out of these things because people don't expect it. And I think, you know, this has the potential for that. I mean, if you could even do the same, to be honest. If you look at something like Gummy Bears, you could do it with that as well. Where you can introduce them, you can introduce it to a slightly more modern world if you wanted to, or you could. I mean, remaking Gummy Bears in the Middle Ages would make more sense. But you can introduce Care Bears to a very cynical, very fucking damaged world.
I mean,
if you can find one. I mean, who knows where you'd find a fucking dystopian future? But
it writes itself, doesn't it?
Does.
It writes itself if you go postmodern with this stuff, and the Care Bears are still their fucking idealistic 80s self, and you drop them into today's society, where like they try and teach kids to care and the kids just hoof them in the nuts and run away.
Yeah.
Like,
actually, you know what? I'm at a loose end. Let's fucking write it.
I mean, I kind of want to see this. I think I'm pretty up for this, actually.
Yeah, maybe we'll talk more off there. But
we got to get a license first. It's not cheap.
No, but then again, we can look at that. But yeah, I mean, it's the sort of thing for me that, like, I put it on, say, a couple of times. I watched a couple of episodes, so I put it on yesterday, and generally my kids will sit down if it's something they want to watch. They will, or if it's something they've watched before. Particularly, there's a really annoying fucking Australian series which is aimed slightly older than them, but they love it. They're only like 15 episodes, but they watch it on repeat, and that's fine. And they'll go back to stuff like Paw Patrol, and they'll go back. They'll put stuff on Disney Plus, and they'll watch that again and again and again. And if they want to watch it, they'll sit there and they'll watch it ad nauseum. If it's something that they haven't chosen, and it could be, it could be Paw Patrol, but with fucking sea lions. Same fucking show, same everything, just different animals. If they haven't chosen it, they won't sit down and watch it. But the fact I put this on, and within 2 minutes, the pair of them were both on the sofa next to me like this. because they just wanted to see it. They wanted to know what was going on. By the time we got to the end of that episode, apologies for anyone who just saw what I had for dinner, by the way. But no, by the time we got to the end of the episode, they were like, okay, well, we've seen it now, it's done. We wanted something else. At which point I had time to fuck off and do something else. But the fact they did capture their imagination, and so this was the original series. I haven't tried the new one with them yet. I haven't watched any of the new one, so I may just put that on while we're doing something else and see if they notice, and see what that's like. But yeah, I mean, I'm probably the same as you. I'm not necessarily actively going to go and seek out every single episode ever made, but if I've got 10 minutes to kill, I might throw one of these on.
I definitely will. I find them fucking hilarious and morbidly fascinating. I do think there's something satisfying about knowing that your kids watched and enjoyed it. Because
only one episode is the fact that they took it in.
Yeah, it shows that there is something there, and as much as I've ragged on the storytellers to say the rest of it is pretty quality, so it doesn't surprise me that there's something there for them. It is clearly a quality product in everything other than storytelling and the concept.
Yeah.
Which I would argue is the fucking most important thing. But hey ho, I'm not a 5-year-old anymore. So I think there's something nice about that, especially when I do say quite often when we're watching shows and something just hasn't quite clicked with us.
Yeah.
We kind of use your kids as a litmus test a bit, don't we? We're like, well, does it work? Is it just because we're old? And so in this case, it's nice to know that, because normally the answer is no. I sat them in front of it and they fucking hated it. So we know we're on the right page.
They last about a minute.
Yeah. But it's nice to know that something has broken through there, and I kind of feel it's quite nice that it actually is K-Biz. Saying that, you did show them Get Along Gang as well, didn't you? And you said they didn't mind Get Along Gang.
Yeah, they were all right with that. I mean, there were other things we put on, like in we tried Raggy Dolls. I tried Raggy Dolls the other day, and that we did be just like, what's this shit?
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I say it was the episode that we watched with the remote control plane, and them tossing off the nose cone. But still, they weren't interested.
I mean, I'll say this, for all I've ragged on the writing in K-Biz and for all it's deliberate, like, there is a better, more tightly structured plot in any single episode of K-Biz than any opposing episode of Raggy Dolls. Like, at least there is a point to these episodes. At least something happens. Yeah. It may be clumsy, but at least something happens. So I guess, like, in the hierarchy of, like, really fucking super nice kid shows, K-Biz just kind of sits comfortably in the middle there for me. Like, it's kind of underneath Get Along Gang and above sort of Raggy Dolls, and I think it kind of sits there because, like, it's just too fucking cheesy for me to take it seriously. It's just too nice. I mean, it makes the fucking Get Along Gang look like the Godfather, for fuck's sake. It's ridiculously nice.
Yeah, but I mean, the thing is as well is that it clearly knows that, and it plays for that, and I think that's a big part of it. Is that, like, we talked about Hugs and Tugs. Yeah, as character names, there's no way that's accidental.
It can't be. That can't be.
But there's just enough where you go, yeah, nudge, nudge, wink, wink, and then you get back to the really wholesome family shit. And yeah, it's just one of those you think clearly they know what they're doing. Clearly they know where they're pitching this. And they're pitching it as fucking Hallmark on TV, but they know what they're doing, and it knows what it is, and they know how to get there. So the fact you do need to have a story whereby somebody learns something every week, as opposed to they play cricket and find a plane and then go back to bed. You kind of need that, and they've pitched it absolutely spot on for me. I think they've done what they set out to do. Now whether that stands up today, I don't know, because I'm also not 5 anymore. And as I said earlier, I think that you have to play it slightly differently now. You can't just rely on, well, you've got 3 channels, so it's on and you'll watch it. They need to be a bit smarter than that. So I think there does need to be a bit more edge and a bit more hook to it. So maybe that does happen in the Netflix stuff. I don't know, but yeah, and I was kind of impressed. I got to be honest. I wasn't expecting. I was expecting to go into this going, oh my fucking god. And then when I put the first one on, which was Care-a-Lot's birthday, not a person's birthday, Care-a-Lot's birthday, and some of the stuff that was in there, I was like, oh fucking hell, what are we doing? Like, why are we watching this? And then I did think I was going to slip into a coma. But yeah, it's just something that I don't know. It just has a universal appeal because there's nothing dickish about it. Everything is just very wholesome and very nice.
It's sickeningly, unironically wholesome, and that is rare. That is,
It is
very fucking rare. It was rare then, and it's even rarer now.
Yeah.
And so we
other
should
way, I don't think.
no, and we should celebrate that. That I think that is something that should be allowed to be given a chance. But if you want to take anything from it other than sheer bewilderment, I think you have to be absolutely tuned into it and needing it at that specific moment. And I think maybe with really young kids, maybe there is that. Maybe it's, oh God, this is going to get quite grim all of a sudden now. But especially for our generation, maybe there is that little bit of actually, like Mummy and Daddy are really fucking busy and I've been sat in front of the TV for 3 fucking hours here. So maybe I just need a bit of a fucking warm hug in the form of a TV show, and here's the fucking Care Bears. I don't know. Maybe there's a lot to unpack in that statement. But maybe there's something there in that.
Maybe.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we definitely were the TV babysitter generation. Like, it was... Yeah. Stick them in front of the TV. Like our parents were more naive, I think, to TV than for instance you would be today with your kids. It was just like, just stick them in front of the TV, it's fine. While they're watching cartoons, yeah, fine, don't worry about it. Yeah. So we could have been exposed to all sorts of shit, and I think there's just something. Maybe we just needed it. Maybe it's a palate cleanser we needed after watching like He-Man and Lion-O kick the shit out of everything for 40 minutes. Maybe we needed a Care Bears just to reset. I don't know. Maybe it's the answer to why kids today are fucking arseholes. Maybe they don't have enough Care Bears. Yeah, maybe that's it. Or maybe kids are just always arseholes, and I realise it more now.
I was going to say, I think kids always have those assholic tendencies. You just notice it more as an adult.
Yeah, you're probably right. I think it's just lack of social boundary in it, which is a wonderful thing and should be celebrated. I don't know why I'm calling them arseholes.
To a point. I mean, I was in the supermarket the other day, happily listening to something on my headphones, and I got kicked in the knee. And in the girl's defense, it's a girl I know. She's a friend of Jess's, and she'd been calling me for about 2 minutes every time I'd passed them in the store. But I had something else on. I wasn't fucking paying attention. I was trying to follow my shopping list. And so she walked up to me by the bananas and kicked me in the knee, which I did find quite funny. Had it been a kid I didn't know, I'd have gone fucking mental.
I think it would have been even funnier if it was a kid you didn't know.
I'd have kicked the fucker back then.
I mean, it probably says more about me, but I say they're assholes and little things like that. I just think, I think there's something really great about that. Just the complete lack of
no social cues whatsoever.
None.
I'm trying to get his attention. I'm trying to say hello. He's ignoring me, so I'm going to kick him.
I kind of fucking love that. Maybe that's just a bit of jealousy that we can't get away with that. Like he's being a dick. I'm just going to kick him. Kids would do that. So
yeah, it's because up until the age of 10, they can't be prosecuted.
Yeah, that's the truth. That's the truth. They can't be held to account.
Yeah, but it was quite amusing. I did find it quite funny.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I don't think I've got too much more to say other than I don't think we've watched anything else. And like I've compared it to Get Along Gang a lot, and we've drawn a comparison to Raggy Dolls as well. But I don't think we've watched anything else that's anything like this. I don't know. I don't know what I've got to say. It's better than this or worse than this. To say the nearest things are Get Along Gang, just because they're thematically similar and as much as it's very nice. But this is a whole different level of nice. Like you said, it's a sugar rush is what this is. It's so sweet and so nice and so saccharine. And you can't do much more than 10-20 minutes at a time because you're just gonna fucking puke rainbows. But I kind of enjoyed it.
Yeah, I mean, I would say, I mean, this year has been particularly fucking shite, as everybody knows. And I think that if anybody's at that point where, ends of tethers have been reached and you're at that, there's just nothing fucking to look forward to. I mean, Christmas is coming, apparently, but, who fucking knew? This is a nice, gentle pick-me-up where you don't have to resort to drugs or alcohol. You could quite easily, this could restore your faith in humanity between diabetic comas quite easily.
Oh, I wouldn't go that far. I think my faith in humanity is long gone at this point. I don't think
You'd have to
anything's
watch a
bringing
lot
me
of
back
it.
from that.
You'd have to watch a lot of it, but just the fact that there is a contemplation of actually you don't have to be a cunt. The fact that there are ways to be nice, and I think that certainly at the moment a lot of people are forgetting that. And if you could just beam this into people's brains, it would be quite fucking handy at times.
I think it would be a very fucking scary society. But yeah, I get. I get
know,
where you're coming from.
Some of the people around, I wouldn't mind it.
I get where you're coming from. I think for me, it comes down just slightly too heavy on that stuff for it to be the show I go to in times of trouble like that. But
yeah, that's what the bottle of Jack is for. I wouldn't go to TV.
Again, I've said this a few times now. I'd fucking go back to Rent-A-Ghost because it's just the most pointless, innocent thing I think we've ever watched. And it's not about how to be nice to people. If anything, it's the complete fucking opposite. It's just very nice and wholesome and innocent, and it takes your mind off all of this shit that's going on in the world. If you are looking for something where just everybody's nice to each other, again, it's the nearest comparison. I would say Get Along Gang is much better, like way better. And obviously I'm biased because it's a big part of my childhood, but I would say it's way better than this. But it is not as funny because it's not as absolute, just hardcore, just saccharine, sweet niceness. There is nothing else like this. No. And I don't think there ever will be, other than like the pastiches that you get of it. As I say, it's so commonly pastiche now because I think it's just so extreme. I don't think anything else could be like it.
No, I don't think so. I've not watched the new ones, but I don't even think the new ones would dare to do that.
No, I don't think you can. I mean, the nearest thing I can think of is, and it's just a character, not a show. The nearest thing I can think of is Olaf in Frozen.
Yeah.
Where he's just completely wide-eyed and innocent and loves everybody.
Yes. But then again, there are the little, with Olaf, there's the little snickety comments.
Yes, exactly. He's not completely wholesome.
Yeah, he's not completely innocent. He's not completely naive. There's knowledge there.
Yeah.
It's just as a character, Olaf chooses not to embrace that.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of an interesting distinction, that it's done intentionally, it's done as a choice. So you do get all this wonderment, this whole thing about summer, and this whole thing about about trees and everything being magical. But then every now and again, it's, yeah, right, okay, whatever. And you just can't get away from that little bit of snark, which it works with the character in small doses, but you'd never get that from a licensed Care Bear product.
No,
you might get it like a Family Guy version or something like that, but
yeah,
where they're shooting up in the car park, stuff like that.
Yeah, that's the thing, is they are 100% pure. They are the most pure creatures I think that have ever existed.
As I said, shooting up in the car park.
Well, yeah. There's just something slightly magical and wonderful about it, I think. But it's also really, really fucking bad, but in a really, really good way. It's just this. Yeah, there's nothing like it. There is fucking nothing else like this.
Yeah,
and if that doesn't convince you to give it a whirl, I don't know what will.
Yeah, it's certainly unique. I mean, they're not long either. No, give it a look. There is an official channel on YouTube where you can go back and find all sorts of snippets and clips. There are whole episodes on there as well. Yeah, go and give them a look. I mean, it's certainly not going to hurt you. You might just be a slightly happier, nicer person for 5 minutes before you go back to being a cunt on Facebook. Or certainly what happened to me anyway. But yeah, I mean, I've not really got much else to say on that. I mean, I think we've covered it at length. I've been trying to wrap up for about 20 minutes. But yeah, I mean, as always, we'd love to hear people's experience of this. I mean, this is something that is still very much around, and I hadn't thought about it for a very long time. But for some people, it's still a thing. So let us know what you think. Let us know what you thought at the time. If you still have a Care Bear, send us a picture. Stick a picture of it on Twitter. See what state it's in. But yeah. Get in touch. Let us know what you think. Let us know your thoughts and what you if you watch the old ones again, or you watch the new ones. Tell us about those as well. You can get us on Twitter at SMPD Pod, on Facebook with the Dublin Podcast Network. You can go to our website ddpodcast.net, where you'll find our previous episodes as well as some of our other shows. Where you get your podcasts from, be it Spotify, Stitcher, iTunes, Google Play, Amazon Music. I've probably forgotten a few others. So give us a search on there. Search for SMPD. Like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. We'll get back to you as best we can. But until next time,
I'm fucking sorry about this theme tune, listeners, but look, I have to put the theme on the end. I'm really sorry. I'm about to subject you to it. If you don't want to hear the theme tune, I won't judge you. Stop now. See you later.